The skyline of Orlando seen here during a gorgeous sunset. Quite a backdrop for our broadcast tonight. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Burt, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Adams.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, Aaron Gordon is progressing as a shooter. He said, what I've done is connected my three, my pull-up, and my free throw. They're all the same shot now. I'm going to keep trusting my skill, and eventually it'll all come together. With my motor, I feel like whatever I'm doing out there, I can just keep going and going. Kevin?
Tremendous athleticism. Thanks, D.A. What great athleticism with both these teams. I mean, every move is so graceful, so skilled. I mean, majestic.
It is, Kevin. There's an explosiveness. There's this speed that is absolutely incredible to watch. Every possession up and down the floor could have the potential highlight reel.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Chris Paul is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Ferguson in at the three, the small forward. And for the Magic, Augustine and Fournier are the backcourt tandem. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic, and it's Isaac in at the small forward. Now, here's Fournier outside Gordon. Passes it to Vucevic. Over Adams, and Vucevic with the basket on the assist by Gordon. Vucevic has got the first points of the night for the Magic. Paul against Augustine. The shot by Paul, no good. And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for Orlando. Fournier goes in. A beautiful reverse layup.
Well, tremendous understanding from the young Jonathan Isaac. How about that awareness for the young guy?
Here's Paul. Adams outside. Kicks it to Gallinari. Shot clock at 5. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
How about the timing of Aaron Gordon? This guy has got the ability to rise up and send it back.
Shot from a low block. Vucevic trying to get open. In deep, Gordon drops it in.
That's 3 straight shots to fall here to start. Looking good.
It's been a slow start here for Oklahoma City. 6-point game. The drive by Paul. Goes back up. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And the future Hall of Famer continues to get it done. Paul is a special point guard who just wants to win.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And that 84% free throw percentage is a testament to all the hard work he's put in on the line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. Well, we're now on the back end of what has been, Greg, an incredible career for Chris Paul. Perhaps no longer the undisputed best point guard in the game, but still a top talent.
And Chris Paul might not be the best point guard, but any team would be happy to have him. His efficiency and playmaking aren't going away anytime soon. And even though he's never been an overly athletic player, that aspect of his game still is strong as ever.
And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Paul against Augustine. Pass to Vucevic, and it's D.J. Augustine with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. The Thunder have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Ferguson. He's covered by Isaac. Ferguson misses.
Well, it can't get worse than this. 0 for 4 to start.
Augustine passes to Gordon. Magic moving the ball around. Over Gallinari. Here's Vucevic. Lays it up off the glass. Vucevic has got his second basket of the night.
This guy, a strong rebounder who uses his frame well. Vucevic has a knack for being in the right spot.
Out to Gallinari. Beyond the arc. It's hauled in by the Magic.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Thunder trailing by 9. Paul looking over the floor. Adams down low. Vucevic on him.
Boy, the strength and the activity of Steven Adams makes him a force on the backboards.
And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for the Orlando Magic. Ball's knocked loose. Outside Fournier. Pass to Isaac. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Paul passes to Ferguson. He kicks it to Gallinari. Shot clock at 6. Over in the corner, Paul. Over Augustine. Paul's shot is off.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on it.
Oh, wow.
Wow, how about the burst? Aaron Gordon off the floor so fast. Don't sleep on him, gentlemen. You're going to look silly.
Thunder trailing by 11. There's the pass to Adams. Kicks to Gallinari. Now Paul. Gets an open look and hits. So it's Orlando now. Now Augustine. He had 15 points last outing. Fournier finds Vucevic. Isaac with the ball. Now Gordon, defended by Paul. 5 on the clock, and it's Gordon missing. Oklahoma City shooting in the early going here. Pretty dreadful, 22%. Here's Gallinari. Vucevic with the rebound. Vucevic has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Gordon, and he lays it straight in. Gordon's got 8 points.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
No doubt, Greg. On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
Gilgeous-Alexander with it. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet, and that one good.
Well, that's a nice play. You've got to read the situation and go to your floater game when necessary.
Augustine against Paul. Fournier the bounce pass. Gordon inside. Over Gallinari, and it's Gordon missing.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from if you want to command the defender's respect.
And the Magic, one of those franchises that's still looking for its first title.
And Greg, they've been to the NBA Finals twice, but boy, did they run up against 2 of the all-time great individual closers in history. 1995, Hakeem Olajuwon says no to the Magic. 2009, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, says, no, sir, I'm getting another championship.
Here's Gilgeous Alexander. Finished off the break.
And made possible by a heads-up play defensively at the other end.
Augustine looking around. Passes to Vucevic. And Vucevic throws it down.
Well, Evan Fournier is a fundamentally sound player, and if his teammates are open, he will deliver the rock.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. It's interesting, Doris, to see how these NBA players that come into the league looking one way physically and they leave looking another way, they change their bodies over the course of their career.
Kevin, you talked about this earlier. These players commit to their season over the course of 365 days. Virtually no offseason. Think about the reigning MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who adds 50 pounds of muscle from the time he enters the NBA. Or the other side of the equation, right? A Yusuf Nurkic or a Marc Gasol who drop weight, Kevin, to enhance their quickness and their stamina. These guys are so committed.
They are. Orlando leading by 7. And here's Augustine. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Adams against Vucevic.
Well, you can see why his teammates love playing with him. Vucevic willing to find the open guy.
Thunder trailing by 9. The drive by Schroeder. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. Outside Fournier. And good that time. Fournier's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
The Thunder shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Here's Gilgeous Alexander. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. 6 on the shot clock. And that one's good. Noel.
How about that show of strength from Nerlens Noel? No fear in how he attacks the defense on these shots.
Now here is Augustine. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Baseline J on the way. And Orlando again with the bucket.
Moving it around. 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Now Gilgeous Alexander. Adams outside. Schroeder outside. Offensive rebound.
That's not his spot, but given the lack of defense, you'd like to see him knock that one down.
Gordon kicks to Augustine. Back to Gordon. Vucevic trying to get open. Thunder with the rebound. Adams has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. That's a 2 from Ferguson. And the foul called on Nerlens Noel. That is his first foul of the game. And the Thunder making a change here. Magic leading by 11. Augustine with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Pass to Fournier. To the middle. And the dunk by Bamba.
And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
They have used their size and their strength to get off any shot they want. They've dominated on the interior.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Robertson dishes to Muscala. Back to Robertson. This one for 3. Rebounded by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 7th rebound here tonight.
Just doing the job on the backboard. Building up a big early lead. They have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end, Greg. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Pass to Baisley. Now Robertson. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. And Bamba pulls it down.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
And then Gordon with the dunk.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. That lead continues to grow.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
The pass to Noel. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. Stolen by Bamba. Augustine against Schroeder. Gordon, the pass to Augustine. Another shot. And the layup is good. And the Magic lead by 19.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And one of the more transcendent athletes in the game, Aaron Gordon, still has some untapped potential. He could make a big leap.
Orlando making some changes. Al-Farouq Aminu. He's checked in for Vucevic. Terrence Ross comes in for Gordon. And Markelle Fultz is subbed in for Augustine. Schroeder kicks to Robertson. We've got 1:18 left in the first quarter. Back to Schroeder. Pass to Muscala. 5 to shoot. Ross with the steal. And oh, here we go with Ross. Nobody back. And Ross with the slam.
How about that tremendous defense leading to points? Ross stays alert, makes the steal, and goes right on the attack.
59 seconds left to play here in the first. Robertson dishes to Muscala. Kicks to Schroeder. He feeds it to Noel. 6 to shoot. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. Throws it up high. Bamba passes to Aminu.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
The Magic shooting their first free throws of the evening. The first free throw is good. Both shots good from the stripe. And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for the Thunder. Their last encounter was in Oklahoma City.
And they'll want to show that they're a much better team than they demonstrated last time out against these guys. At the very least, avoid another blowout.
Well, so many of their problems stem from turnovers. They simply could not take care of the ball, and it cost them in that matchup.
Pass to Fournier. Pass to Bamba. Over Muscala. Nice shot there by Bamba. Bamba's got 6. And so it's Orlando holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Right back after this break. Chris Paul, an elite defensive player, a student of the game for sure, talks about his knack for making a lot of steals, forcing turnovers.
The steals thing is just something that I've always had a knack for doing, and just I think it's because I watch basketball.
Well, you hear about the importance of watching film, Greg. It reveals itself in many ways.
And learning guys' habits, what they like to do, gives him a knack for when to go after steals without hurting his team.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And a very convincing performance from the Magic so far.
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. Then there's Al Farouk Aminu. Then it's Bamba, and it's Birch in at the 4.
Take a break.
That's who's out there for
2
Orlando.
shots.
And he can't get the first one.
Well, the Thunder begin on the defensive end of the floor. This is a team whose formula is to force a ton of turnovers, come up with steals, get out in transition. Last year, 4th in the league in defensive rating.
And the second free throw, good. And for the Thunder defense, Doris, it starts with their rebounder.
Well, you have to begin with their strong interior defense. That lets their wings get out and pressure and take some chances. Defense has turned into a pillar for this team.
Here's Fultz. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, you love that Markelle Fultz has the ability to draw the defense's hand and get himself to the foul line.
The Magic shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
And the first one drops.
Well, obviously a rough start to the career of #1 pick Markelle Fultz. The shoulder injury sort of takes away his shooting ability when the Sixers trade him away. You're rooting for this young man to get back to his game.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Gallinari's checked in. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. And some have said, Doris, for Fultz, not just physical issues dogging him early on.
Well, I think you have to consider, Kevin, when you are the #1 overall pick, extraordinary pressure comes with that. So now with a new team, perhaps that fresh start gives Markelle Fultz an opportunity to showcase his big-time talent.
And you look at this Magic roster, so much potential.
I think, Greg, they have done a great job of drafting to the style of play they want to play. Guys who want to get after it on the defensive end. Guys who can switch and slide on the perimeter. Guys who can protect the rim. That is the backbone of this organization.
Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Doris, you graduated as your college's all-time assist leader. Talk about some of the key traits of a great playmaker.
I think historically speaking, when we think about great lead guards, Kevin, we talk about unselfishness, vision, patience. Who are the players that make their teammates better? Though probably the one underrated aspect of a point guard to me, Kevin, is communication. Are you constantly looking for opportunities to communicate to your teammates, make them feel good about themselves, give them confidence? That, to me, is probably the most underrated aspect of it.
And Doris, when you played, you took such great pride in each and every one of those things.
I did. I love trying to make my teammates better. It feels great to make somebody feel good.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. Now, here's Robertson. Tight defense on him. 13 feet away. And it's Schroeder missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And a career high in scoring, Doris, for Terrence Ross last season.
Boy, he thrived in the instant offense role off the bench. This guy unleashed into an aggressive, assertive, shot-hunting scorer. What a season he had.
And the first one at the line is good. Jonathan Isaac, he's checked in for the Magic. Chris Paul, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And both free throws good for Ross. You know, Greg, for the Thunder fans, hard to see their star power dwindle, but they got a lot in return.
Yeah, but the Thunder were capped out. They hadn't made it past the first round in 3 years. And in exchange for Paul George, they got one of the richest trade packages in league history.
Gallinari wide open. Orlando grabs the miss. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Man, that game goes down to the wire. Both teams exhausted, but only one has something left for the encore.
You know, that one's a tough one to take. You force the extra session, and then you have the heartbreak of not being able to get it done in the extra session. Brutal.
The pass to Fultz. Passes it to Aminu. 5 on the clock. The 8-footer. The basket good off the assist from Fultz.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And here is Paul. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Rockets in Houston.
He was also an excellent setup man as well. This guy was cutting the defense to shreds with incredible passing.
Fultz looking around. Pass to Birch. Now here's Fultz, defended by Paul. Pass to Isaac. Here's Birch. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball move.
3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son Philip was born in December, and then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball. I think he will." Kevin?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report. Ross on the wing. Clock at 6. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Dennis Schroeder.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Orlando shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. That free throw good from Ross. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Here's Paul. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Paul's got 5.
Yeah, he's like a magician out there. Paul shows you only what he wants you to see. Then he hits you with the reveal.
Knocked loose. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. The quick look, no good that time.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Here's Fultz. Misses off the right iron.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Well, there's no doubt there were better options on the floor, but it certainly seemed like he had his mind made up.
Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Now guarded by Fultz. The shot by Paul, no good.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Well, Terrence Ross's game lends itself to a dunk waiting to happen. This guy is tremendous as an athlete.
Hey, get CP3.
Out to the wing. Aminu, no one around him. Second shot opportunity. Birch. And Adams sends it back. All alone. He can't get that one to fall. So Orlando will take it the other way. Now here's Fultz. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. The shot by Birch, no good. Oklahoma City's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And it's Gilgeous-Alexander in the corner. Drills the three-pointer. He's got 7.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Now Fultz. 8 points his last outing. Over to the left wing. Birch kicks to Isaac. Here's Fultz. The Magic again can't hit. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Here's Gallinari. Rebound by the Magic.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Oh, you hear that sound? That's the flushing of the toilet right there.
Greg, a fierce two-hander. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
And missing your free throws usually changes the complexion of a game. Certainly did in that one.
You know this, Greg. Nothing gets a crowd into the game more than a bunch of missed free throws. That's one of the worst things you can do on the road.
Vucevic, he's checked in for Orlando. Augustine comes in for Markelle Fultz. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Nerlens Noel checks in for Gallinari. Clock at 4. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. But they'll get another chance. And it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now. These, the new power rankings. They tell a great story. You look at Portland. They couldn't hold their position this week, but remain in the top 10.
And looking at Orlando, they just can't seem to find the mojo they need to move up the rankings. They've tinkered with their lineup, but so far they just keep getting the same results.
The Magic have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. It's tipped. Vucevic trying to get open. The shot by Birch, no good.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And the shot goes in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 5 points in the quarter.
And the future Hall of Famer loves to dish the rock. Paul has a pass-first mentality. He makes everyone around him better.
Vucevic with it. 35 points for him last game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
Ferguson, the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Augustine with the steal. Here's Isaac. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
This is encouraging to see Jonathan Isaac finish through contact. He obviously will fill out that frame and add some weight, but the balance really impressive.
And here now the Thunder. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Now the pass to Noel. To the paint. Here's Adams. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you look at the way Steven Adams has developed his offense the last few years. It's been a huge boost for this team. He has always been a great defender, but now he is an important cog on this team in terms of scoring.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And with Adams in his offense, you forget how young he is.
And big men, sometimes they just take a little longer to find their path in the NBA. And Adams has certainly found his. I remember him being in mostly to screen and rebound when he was a rookie, but look how far his game has come.
Or as you think about the anchor of this team, Steven Adams just holds it down in the middle.
Oh, Steven Adams does so much, but it all starts on the defensive end with this guy. He takes away so much space on the interior. He is commanding on the backboards. He contests shots. Everything you could hope for, Steven Adams brings.
They get it again. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That's on Evan Fournier.
I'll tell you, Steven Adams is a load on the block. That frame makes him an impossible check.
For Oklahoma City, they have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
Shooting 2.
That one is off. Looking at the schedule, Doris, about halfway through the season, some teams that started out very hot and were winning like crazy have now come back to earth. They've cooled a bit. They've leveled out.
I think inevitably over the course of an 82-game season, NBA players will tell you there are always ups and downs and waves of success and then the tough moments. And the best teams seem to be able to weather all of that. Not get too high when they're playing well, not get too low if they're in the middle of a slump.
For Orlando, they've gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. Outside Gordon. Back to Augustine. Down low. And Vucevic kicks to Bamba. Shot clock at 5. Over Noel. Bamba's shot is off. And so it's Paul bringing it up for Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City moving it around, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Here's a look at some stats for Fournier. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Averaging about 11 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. I mean, the numbers aren't bad on their own, but he knows that he can help this team in a bigger way.
And sometimes it comes down to the flow of the offense. One night it's your night, another night perhaps it's somebody else's.
The first one falls.
And you know, guys, listen, Noel brings value. The reason he's a menace on the defensive end and an absolute warrior on the glass.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for the Thunder. All free throws good from Noel.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Augustine against Schroeder. Passes it to Vucevic. In the corner, it's Gordon. Over Robertson. And too long on the shot.
A contested mid-range shot can't be what they were looking for there.
Well, especially with that defensive player in the area. You know he's going to find a way to get into the shooter and make him uncomfortable.
From the top of the key. Nice jump shot. Good. Robertson's got his first points of the night.
Any offense you get from Andre Robertson is a plus. Nice job taking and making a shot.
Schroeder against Augustine. Fournier. Here's Vucevic. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Vucevic has got 8 points.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Adams. Dishes to Schroeder. Over Augustine. It's good from Schroeder on the assist by Adams. Schroeder's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, I do like seeing Schroeder get to the mid-range because that shot's still an important one in today's NBA.
Augustine passes to Gordon. Feeds it to Vucevic. Fades and shoots. Count it. 10 points for him.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Pass to Robertson. Schroeder outside. There's the lob to Adams.
Well, coaches love seeing this from Dennis Schroeder. Recognize the situation, find the open teammate.
Magic leading by 21. And here's Augustine. Gordon deciding where to go with it. Back to Fournier. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. Fournier's shot is off. It'll count. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's the Orlando Magic with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Aaron, you all have played at a high level so far. What has worked for you?
We're just sticking to the game plan. You know, our coaches really drew up something good for us. You know, they wrote it out, and we're sticking to it, and we're executing very well.
Yeah, that's obvious the way you all have played. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Things were going Orlando's way from the beginning. They launched into a 6-0 run with an impressive effort on both ends of the floor. They delivered a real beatdown in the first quarter, ending with a whopping lead. The second quarter didn't advance their lead, but they still dominated the half overall, ending it way, way out in front. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, the bench came in and helped them run away with this one. Tremendous job of getting loose, getting open, and drilling shots. You always want that spark off the bench, and these guys delivered.
And, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. And You know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. Terrence Ross with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And the way he goes at defenders, he is bound to get to the line just like he did there in that first half.
I have to love his tenacity. This guy stays in attack mode, makes defenders work, tries to keep them off balance.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. Taking a look at the Thunder. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul. And it's Ferguson in at the 3 slot. The Thunder have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far. Here's Augustine bringing it up now for the Orlando Magic. It's an 18-point lead. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Knocks it loose. That's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession. And let's take a peek at the players contending for a spot in the dunk contest this year. Each and every one of these guys can do amazing things around the bucket.
And they will. I guarantee you that we're going to see things in this year's contest that we've never seen before. Those fellas have some tricks up their sleeve for sure.
And I know he'd like to make a move up in the consideration. He's got all the athleticism you hope for from a dunk contest participant.
He sure does. Lots of competition, though, in the running this year to get that big invite.
And as always, we'll keep the updates coming in as we get closer to All-Star Weekend. One thing we already know, there are some great players pulling in votes so far.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that this is going to be one of those dunk contests that everybody's going to be tuning into. I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Outside Gordon. Here's Augustine. Over in the corner, Isaac. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Thus far in his young career, Jonathan Isaac's strength, I think, dwarfs his defense.
That has everything to do, Kevin, with his blend of length and mobility. This guy can be extremely disruptive on that end of the floor, and Jonathan Isaac will grow offensively as well.
Shoot 2.
That free throw missing. The 6th pick back in 2017. 6'10" Jonathan Isaac out of Florida State. Greg, what have you seen from him?
Came in somewhat raw. Potential as a rangy defender. Offensively, though, still a ways to go.
Good on the second free throw.
Well, the potential of Jonathan Isaac is truly exciting. This guy is still a bit raw, but he has every tool to be successful, both offensively and defensively.
Gallinari outside. Rebounded by Isaac.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Augustine's got his second bucket of the night. Now here's Paul. He's got 5. There's the dish to Adams. Pass to Paul. Over Augustine. And his offense just hasn't been there. Orlando leading by 18. To the inside. 3-on-3. And it's D.J. Augustine with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Gallinari dishes to Paul. Looking to end his cold spell. The shot is good off the backboard. Paul's got 7 points.
Working against size, he's just crafty enough to carve out some wiggle room.
I'll tell you, the analytics crew may not like the mid-range, but sometimes you just got to put it in the basket.
Gordon for 3. Doesn't go for him. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And there's Gallinari on the assist by Paul. That's 10 points for Gallinari.
That pass had to be thrown not only in the right spot, but at the right time.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And Orlando making a change here. Fultz is checked in. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Back to Gordon. And he elevates for the slam dunk. Steven Adams did not like that at all.
Boy, how about the tenacity of Aaron Gordon? So good at being assertive and taking over the offense when necessary.
Thunder trailing by 16. Now Paul. 7 points in the game. Just 5 to shoot. And it's blocked by Gordon. And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Al-Farouq Aminu. He's checked in for Jonathan Isaac. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. Muscala's checked in. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. And Vucevic has got the ball here for Orlando. It's a 16-point game. And then Gordon with the dunk.
You know that the pass is for Aaron Gordon, but his athleticism takes any defense out of the equation. Doing work, Aaron Gordon.
Paul outside. Takes the 13-footer. Muscala, the pass to Gallinari. Vucevic with the block.
Well, the reach, the timing, Vucevic using all of that 7'4" wingspan to turn that shot away.
The shot's good from Fournier.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Paul kicks to Ferguson. He lobs it up. Got a piece of it. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Aminu.
And let's look now. Aaron Gordon's numbers. Over the last 10 games or so, he's really shown up. He's putting up about 14 points a night, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. You know, you look at the numbers and you think that this is great, but we know that he's capable of even bigger production.
You know, the numbers look okay, but the eye test tells us unequivocally he is capable of more. That is the sign of a star right there.
Fultz with the ball. Aminu with the bounce pass. Vucevic the pass to Aminu. Shot clock at 6. That shot missing, and Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. The shot by Beasley, no good. Magic leading by 20. Here's Fultz, and Paul pulls it down. Paul's got 4 rebounds in this game. Ferguson for 3, bangs home the trifecta. Ferguson's got 5 now.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
And here's Fultz. Outside Gordon. Ross on the wing. The 3. The Thunder pull it in.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
And up the court come the Magic on the break. And it's Gordon finishing it off.
How effortless is a dunk for Aaron Gordon? He's ready for takeoff, gentlemen.
Here's Paul. He has 7. And Al Farouk Aminu gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Of course, it seems like Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is one of the most well-liked commissioners in all of sports worldwide. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think he was amongst the most important members of the staff of his predecessor, David Stern, who obviously oversaw the greatest growth in NBA history. The NBA became a global game. But Adam Silver didn't skip a beat. He is a great listener, a great communicator, and I've said this about the NBA for a very long time. It is a league that is in constant self-evaluation process. It is always looking for ways to improve the league, whether that means organizationally or with the play between the lines, and that's all you can ask for, Kevin.
Vucevic the pass to Aminu. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Here's the floater. Beasley, good. Beasley's got his 2nd basket.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Here's Fultz, and there's the pass to Aminu. Back to Fultz. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Well, think back to the 2017 draft, guys. Some were surprised to see Markelle Fultz be the first pick. And when you think back on that draft, there's certainly a lot of what-ifs.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Fultz. Bomba's checked in for Orlando. Noel's checked in for Oklahoma City. And he makes both free throws. Thunder trailing by 16. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Passes it to Gallinari. Back to Schroeder. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Gallinari. The 3. Orlando grabs the miss. Ross has got his 4th rebound in this one. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Now here's Schroeder. 7 points in the game. The feed to Noel. lays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
Well, Nerlens Noel is going to take quality shots. Nice to see him being aggressive.
Magic leading by 14. Now Fultz. Pass to Ross. Here's Birch. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Inside, here's Gallinari, and they pick up 2.
Boy, doesn't get any easier than that. What a size advantage, and just goes to work.
He's got his 4th free throw of the game.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
DJ Augustine's checked in for Orlando. That free throw good from Gallinari. Greg last season, Dennis Schroeder transitioning to more of a 6-man role with the Thunder.
And for his first go at that role, I thought Schroeder looked really good. He's always been able to score and create, and coming off the bench might be the best spot for him.
Here's Bamba. Misses off the left iron.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Robertson dishes to Gallinari. The lead now cut to single digits. Gallinari's got 13 points here in the second half alone. Here's Augustine bringing it up now for the Magic. They have a 9-point lead. The pass to Ross. Bamba with it. Over Noel. And the foul on Khem Birch. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 15-4 run. They get a hand on it. And now it's Ross running. He can go all the way. And Ross with the slam.
We call that making it quick work, Kevin. A chance to start the break, and they take it. Ross is hard to slow down.
Thunder trailing by 11. Schroeder passes to Gallinari. That shot no good. And Orlando will come the other way. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And Ross with the slam.
Well, you need to have the kind of vertical Terrence Ross has to take care of that basketball. My goodness, the alley-oop a lot easier when he's on the receiving end.
Schroeder dishes to Noel. Back to Gallinari. Just 5 on the clock. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. The Thunder with another miss.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And Bamba with the basket on the assist by Augustine. Augustine's got 3 assists in the game. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Down by 15. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Robertson the pass to Noel. Schroeder against Augustine. 6 to shoot. Here's the teardrop. And it's Schroeder missing.
Boy, that's the kind of look this offense is designed to create. That's just a tough miss.
And Aminu slams it in.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, Greg, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Well, poor rotations, poor communication. There's a lot to figure out right now.
So for the Magic, Isaac's checked in for Aminu. And Evan Fournier subbed in for Terrence Ross. The Thunder also changing it up. Adams, he's checked in for Muscala. And Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Gallinari. And it's Schroeder missing. And it's Orlando's ball. It's been 8 unanswered points for him. Augustine with it. Now guarded by Schroeder. Augustine, that's good. Augustine's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Thunder trailing by 19. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Adams. He kicks to Schroeder from downtown. But they get it back. Back to Adams. He dishes it to Robertson. It's blocked. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pass to Isaac. Fires the 3. The Thunder pull it in. Noel's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 11 points.
And with those points, he puts an end to that 10-0 run by Orlando.
1 second left, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's the Orlando Magic feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. They kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. Back right after this. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And it's the Magic with the ball. 17-point game. Gordon and Bamba, the combo inside. Augustine and Fournier are the backcourt tandem. And it's Isaac in at the 3 slot. That's who's out there for Orlando. Here's Gordon. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Robertson dishes to Adams. And it's sent back by Isaac.
You can see the long wingspan of Jonathan Isaac coming into play twice on the pipes.
Here's Schroeder. Augustine with it. Now guarded by Schroeder. Lob pass to Gordon, and it's Gordon finishing it off.
Tremendous effort getting the steal, then getting the ball up the court.
It amazes me how quickly you can change ends. You've got to be prepared to sprint the floor.
About a minute played here in the 4th quarter. Adams outside. Dishes it to Schroeder. Back to Adams. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Shoots over Fournier. Offensive rebound. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Well, Steven Adams is as strong a player as there is in the NBA. Draws the contact there.
No good on that one.
What I love about Steven Adams is he approaches the game with a level of physicality that sets a tone for his team. Outstanding defensively and growing offensively.
Ferguson's checked in for Andre Robertson. No good on the second free throw.
So the term unicorn has arisen for shot blockers who can also space the floor. Mo Bamba on that list, guys.
Augustine with it. Here's Gordon. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine. Augustine's got 4 assists in the game. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for Oklahoma City. And coming in, Mo Bamba comparing his game to that of Joel Embiid's. Doris, you see that?
Well, I've heard others mention Rudy Gobert with a three-point shot, and that might be a closer comparison. We're going to have to watch and see what Mo Bamba hangs his hat on both the offensive and defensive end. Comparison's a bit early at this point.
Pass to Isaac. Puts it up from 12. Ferguson with the rebound. Thunder trailing by 21. Out to the right wing. There's the lob to the hoop. Stolen by Bamba. And Augustine kicks to Isaac. Down low. Bamba. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Well, you talk about physical gifts for the game. Mo Bamba, a 7-footer with the longest wingspan, 7'9.5", and that gives him a huge spear of influence.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Paul's checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
On the free throw, no good. Greg, you look at Bamba able to touch the rim while still on the ground. And he gets off the ground pretty well, too.
A good athlete, still getting stronger and developing his feel for the game. But he has something you just can't teach. Oh, just a picture-perfect alley-oop. You gotta love that one, Kevin.
A little surprised, Greg. He didn't go for the big slam, but it works just the same. Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. On offense, here are the Magic. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Here's Gordon. Good. Gordon's got 12 points in just the second half.
Well, you have to admire the strength of Aaron Gordon. This guy is adept at finding his way through intense defense.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And here's what the schedule for Orlando looks like. On Friday, they'll be matching up against Gordon Hayward and the Boston Celtics. And then on Sunday, they'll face off against Paul George and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And looking at the matchup with the Heat, that's going to be one where it would take a lot of errors and maybe a cold shooting night for things to go wrong. They just have that much of an advantage over that team.
First free throw is good. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Of course, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a 4-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number 1, the salary cap implications that happen. Number 2, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a 3-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals.
True.
This is a really, it's challenging enough to go back to back. Forget about 4-peat.
The first free throw is good. And so Paul nails both of them. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. To the inside, a steal, and Paul with a clear path to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup.
That's a specialty. Flying to the basket with no fear and conversion.
And here is Carter Williams outside Gordon. The pass to Vucevic. Back to Gordon. 5 to shoot. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Doris, 4 years and $76 million for Aaron Gordon. Good money if you can get it.
No doubt, Kevin. And in today's NBA, Aaron Gordon is well worth it. This guy is on the upswing of his career. He's got plenty of room for growth. Tremendous athlete and getting more and more skilled.
Shoot 2.
No good on the free throw. Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
And this is why coaches talk about playing with pace. The scoreboard tells it all.
I think, Greg, this is what we call, quote, running a team off the floor. They have been fantastic in transition.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Burton's checked in.
Find the lane. One shot.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. Passes to Gallinari. Shoots over Vucevic, and it's Gallinari missing. Here's Adams, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Vucevic. That one is off. In basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
Here's a one-two, and Adams sends it back.
Well, so good at anticipating when shots are going to go up. Steven Adams, terrific protecting the basket.
Another miss by Orlando.
Pretty early to be over the limit. That foul situation is something we want to keep an eye on.
He's off on the first. And he sinks the second. And it's Orlando's ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Got a piece of it and taken away by Paul. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. And that one's good. Burton.
Reason number one, CP3 is out there making strong passes, keeping the offense flowing.
Now here's Carter Williams. Vucevic to the pass to Gordon. Over Gallinari. Vucevic trying to get open. And it's Gordon. That time on the assist by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 6th assist on the night. Now Paul. Of course, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Thunder. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure. And his lateral quickness really allows him to stay in front of the shooter there and challenge the shot.
And this is the key. In this game, you've got to be able to move your feet to be successful on the defensive end.
Ennis dishes to Vucevic. Shot clock at 5. Here's Gordon. Vucevic trying to get open. Again, the Magic score.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Carter Williams against Paul. Pass to Ferguson. Goes up from the top of the key. Oklahoma City gets it back. Here's Burton. The Thunder with another miss. The Magic shooting 59% up to this point. They're working for great shots, and they're hitting them. Gallinari with the steal. And now Gallinari pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
Here's Carter Williams. Pass to Vucevic. Doris, you and I are faced with this a lot, voting for the MVP. Great stats versus winning. Where do you stand on that when you vote for the league MVP?
Well, winning could be the definitive line if I have two candidates who are close. For instance, for me, this last MVP came down to James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I took it to the last possible moment. And I could have gone in either direction and been comfortable. Ultimately, I went with Giannis, and the deciding factor came down to he led his team to the best record in the league. It was a difficult vote, but ultimately it's one category which helps tilt me in one direction or another.
And I did too, and what also helped me was just the improvement defensively they had made, and I know Antetokounmpo was a very big part of it.
No, it's a great point. He was a two-way force. Well, simply put it in the vicinity of Steven Adams, and his great hands makes that dunk look easy.
The pass to Ennis. Feeds it to Gordon. And it's Gordon finishing it off.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Paul with the ball. The three ball, and he's good on the three ball. Paul's got 7 now in this quarter.
Yeah, and they are living and dying from beyond the arc since halftime. It's a different look than what we saw in the first half.
The feed now to Gordon. Over Gallinari. And it's Gordon missing, and Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. And that's it for him. He's fouled out. Not only that, we are in the bonus, and we'll have to go to the line for 2. Orlando making some changes. Khem Birch comes in for Nikola Vucevic. And it's Aminu in for Gordon. First one falls for him. Doris, when you look at the success of international players, and the league has a litany of very good international players, Doncic being the latest success story, Is the perception changing about these kids when they come from overseas and play in the NBA?
Well, one of the greatest, and then to me, the greatest international player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Fame player, probably changed the perception to start with. Now, listen, over the years, Luka is going to have perhaps a Hall of Fame career if he stays healthy. The reality is this. The NBA is looking for the best players to man those 15 roster spots of the 30 NBA teams. It doesn't matter where you're from, what the color of your skin is. If you can play the game of basketball and play it at the highest level, the NBA wants you to be a part of their league.
Outside Fournier. Outside Gordon. Lets it go from deep. Paul with the defensive effort. Oklahoma City's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Defended now by Fournier. And stolen by Fournier. Gordon, the pass to Isaac. Back to Gordon. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Once again off the mark, Orlando. And it's Paul with the ball for the Thunder. Passes it to Ferguson. That 3 off the mark.
He is just not taking smart shots out there, a pattern he has fallen into tonight.
Gordon kicks to Bamba. Pass to Augustine. Now here's Isaac. Shoots the 3. The rebound by Steven Adams. 1:33 left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander and misses it off the right side of the rim. Orlando's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Magic.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Aaron Gordon.
What a relentless scoring night for this guy. In attack mode all evening.
And that one misses. A lot of people look at that general manager position with the team. I think it grows with some organization, maybe shrinks in importance with others. But by and large, it is more stable than coaching, isn't it? That position of being a GM.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, if you were to ask coaches, one of the things I've heard sort of thrown out there as an idea is when you list the head coach's record, why not list the GM's record as well? Because the reality is success in the NBA is contingent on so many things. What's your ownership like? What kind of front office personnel? Have they made great decisions? Do you have the best possible coaching comparative to the talent on your roster? So much contributes to winning, Kevin.
Hits. Caught that one from Ennis.
And just willing to take chances defensively pays off in a transition basket.
That is quick defense to offense. These guys such terrific athletes. You can't let your guard down.
Oklahoma City's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only 1 of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Here's Burton. Can't hit from 12. And Orlando has possession. And here is Carter Williams. Pass to Bamba. Now here's Ennis. Defense is right there. That one doesn't drop. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Now here's Carter Williams. And the pass to Ennis. Back to Carter Williams. 5 on the clock. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.